can't elicit doing comedy, I think.
I heard the other day that there's some people that don't get goosebumps listening to music. Like, that's not a thing for them.
Well,
have all of you gotten?
They don't get goosebumps like in
ever.
general in life?
No, just like for music.
Yeah,
like music.
Well, it's like not all music gives me goosebumps.
Right,
and
no.
it's, it's like, and
I've never listened to Korn and went, oh, that was... Oh.
No, yeah.
Well, not all humans have the capacity for, like,
love,
emotional depth. No, for real. Some people are just sort of like,
right.
they
totally
go
right.
from like 0 to 3, and like that's what they get, and that's it.
Well, also,
they're not the
yeah,
artists.
you're right.
The artists get 0 to 10. That's why we're fucked up.
I have no idea.
No, truly. Dude, I swear. This is like a major theory that I have in life. We can experience emotion more than other people can. That's why we are able to be artists. That's why we can do what we're doing, because we have the breadth, we have the ability to express and to feel the breadth of emotions. Like, we've got it. Most people, they're like, I got like a 2 and a 3. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I can't feel anything other than that. And so they need us to do it for them, and then they're like, oh. And then they add the John Williams music in the background, and all of a sudden,
Well, there's also, like, zero pattern between the things that give me goosebumps, like the different kinds of music that I listen to. Like, I've gotten goosebumps from listening to, like, big orchestral pieces, all the way to, like, Pat Benatar gives me goosebumps. Just in, like, her... No, I was gonna say, like, in a very honest and genuine kind of way. Like, she's a master of that, like, anthem ballad third chorus thing that just gets me pumped. And, like, there's like really girly, like, Swedish pop that for some reason has triggered it in me. And I think a Korn song has given me that goose. I'm sorry, Freak on a Leash in their live Freak on a Leash, the live recording with the girl from Evanescence.
I'm sorry.
It's actually really good. I'm sorry. It's actually really good.
What's her
and
name?
they slow
Sarah
it down.
Evans?
I think that's her name,
Yeah.
Sarah Evans.
No, I couldn't agree more with you. I love it. And you know what? I mean, everybody has their own fucking thing. And that's great. More the merrier. I mean, I hate to be We Are the World and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I really do believe. I mean, everybody has their own, like, thing for reason for being here. Some people are meant to be accountants. They fucking love numbers, whereas I would fucking cut myself every fucking day. But, like, some people, it's just like, they love it. They love that sort of, like, order. They love this sort of, like, routine every single day. That's who they are. And then, like, Amy, going to your point, artists, like, one of my favorite quotes when David Bowie died, rest in peace, I don't know, it was a tweet, and I don't know if she was quoting somebody, another person, but it was, the reason why we get so upset when artists die, it wasn't that we knew them. It was because they helped us know ourselves. And it's so fucking perfect. I mean, obviously we don't fucking know these people at all, but like we connect to them like we have some personal memories with them, and we have memories that they helped us create based on what we were experiencing in our life at that time. And I couldn't agree more with you, Amy. I mean, I feel like, a lot of times, like, a lot of artists have, like, this really heightened sense of empathy, and, like, viewing the world around us, sort of like people watching, where, like, you kind of see, this is the reality. It's another language, kind of, and it's another form of intelligence, or sort of like emotional intelligence, so you can see the sort of human interaction and kind of understand who they are as people. And it's our job as artists to help, people understand themselves, and in the process, we understand ourselves. Another of my favorite quotes was, what is it? It was, no one's become, what is it? Fuck. Like, artists don't become artists. We just start to become ourselves. Something like that. And I couldn't agree more with you. And I feel like artistry has such an important place. And creativity, too. I mean, I'm on, like, an Albert Einstein quote kick. Have you guys... Albert Einstein has so many fucking great quotes. I couldn't even recommend it even more.
He had all that time in the patent office. So.
Yeah, I think my favorite one is Pimps That Pose Down. I don't know.
Sorry, you were saying. I throw jokes out. Sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. The creativity is great in every sort of realm of life, and you need it in order to, like, innovate. And that's why, like, the arts and schools are so important for every aspect. not just like if you're going to be, no one becomes a violinist who's in an orchestra. No one becomes a fucking clarinetist. So few of us become whatever shit that we did in high school that we'd like to do. But it forms your brain. It helps you like think differently and view things in a different way if you hadn't done that. I don't know. Is it you guys are in Austin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Austin,
music
Texas.
everywhere. Mm-hmm.
That's
our state bird is
city.
music.
Our state bird is music.
Yeah.
I have 3 instruments in my car right now. It's great.
Yeah. Do you still
And I barely play.
do you still mess around with the violin?
I don't. I miss it though. I really do. I was thinking about doing like join. I love one of my favorite things is do like a string quartet. So there's like find some people to do that sort of thing because you connect with. Like, I love like I don't know if you guys. Where you guys said to play instruments, but it's so great when you start like breathing together.
Mm-hmm.
When you find like you just like become a sort of body, a oneness. God, this is such a philosophical like conversation that we're having. I was just taking dick jokes all day.
Mildly sexual as
art,
well.
Art
You're
is though,
in
right?
a park, man. Soak it in. We're talking about deep stuff. It's happening.
This is great. I
Yeah.
like it.
I just picked up the saxophone again. I played in high school, and it's one of those things like I'm actually trying to utilize it for comedy more than like trying to find like a genuine avenue for it because the saxophone is just one of the sillier instruments, I think, or it just has enough as a window. Yakety sax is just there, you know. So, but
Yakety sax?
Don't talk back.
no, the Benny Hill,
Yakety sax.
song.
Oh,
No.
okay. Sure. Sorry. Just say Benny Hill, I'm fine.
But yeah, like I actually got, I got asked to do a show that was like, there was a mild comedy element to it, but it was really just going and like improvising on the saxophone alongside a piano, and
Fun.
it was so fun. I was so bad at it, but I had so much fun because it had been like 12 years since I had ever tried to like do any kind of solo on a saxophone.
Wow.
So, and it was just the most fun thing. I mean, we were all super stoned.
That makes it better.
It was a 420 show,
Wow.
so everything was the best thing that night. But
That's cool. I love hobbies in the sense of like I love pursuing things just because it's fun. I remember like I played basketball a lot like in high school, and I was obsessed with it. And I remember like when I realized I don't think I'm going to be the best at this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to be the best at this. You know, because I'm like 5'7", and like I don't think I'm ever going to be like the top. I don't think it's in my like future. I think it's in the cards. And like I had a moment where like I was like super depressed because I was like, then why the fuck am I even doing this? And I like kind of stopped playing basketball. And then I realized, you know, there's such a satisfaction with doing something just because you fucking like it. You fucking like it. I mean, there's an obsession with like being the best, and I totally get that. You know, you want to be on the top. You want to be the top dog, whatever. But like I think it's a sickness when you need to always have that. And it's just so nice to do something because you like it. And the same thing with relationships with people. It's just like, just do something because you like to be nice. Do it because you like to be happy. You like to be kind.
like
it's
a
a
give
good
something to
feeling.
people.
Yeah.
So, is comedy something that is a hobby that makes you happy, or is comedy your career path and things like basketball and violin are your hobbies to make you happy?
Comedy is definitely my number one. It's my top. It's the thing. I mean,
Do you make money doing it? If you don't mind me asking?
I mean, here and there, it's really becoming like, finally, it's getting there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's been tough, but also it's satisfying now. And I mean, like, you have always so much fucking work to do, and like, there's always, you know, your goal is like in the distance, and you just keep going, you keep hustling, whatever. But like, it was so nice when I realized I was like, I don't want to do anything else, and if I don't give a fuck. Because the thing is, like, I've done other stuff and been very successful at it, and like not been happy whatsoever. And I mean, when I was living in Missouri, there was, you know, several career paths that I could have taken and been very successful and been done well in the conventional sense. But fuck, I was like, even if this doesn't happen for me, I don't fucking care. I don't want to do anything else. And I'm okay with that. But it's nice to be subtraction, though. So it's nice to have that happen. But I will say that, like, I really do think as a writer, and I mean, you said that you were a writer, it's nice to have perspective of other stuff. It's nice to not be a sort of like one-dimensional person. You only do one thing. It's so nice to expose yourself to other people's thinking, and have these sort of like hobbies and make your brain think in a new way. Like, I really like sometimes like I'll just like do Sudoku, and I fucking hate Sudoku so much. And like, it takes me, this isn't even a joke. It took me years before I could ever finish one. I'm not even kidding. I suck at it so much.
I still don't understand what it is.
I just write random numbers in, and it goes really quickly. Because nobody's
bullshit.
Judging me. Nobody's scoring my
No
performance.
one's checking it. That's
Sudoku
great.
was just for the elderly to like, so that they could count from 1 to
To keep
10.
their
Don't
brains
get Alzheimer's.
from going to mush.
2, just whatever.
I'm just picturing her in the park with Sudoku right now, just like yelling at it as people pass by.
I will look like the most normal person in this park.
Yeah, I bet.
That's how Tennessee it is. Oh my god, guys, it's really sad. Like, speaking of that, my dad is totally getting Alzheimer's, and like, it's really sad. And like, he's kind of been an asshole my whole life, and like, now that he's getting Alzheimer's, he's like so much nicer. And like, I know it's so horrible to say, but like,
No, it's
No,
alright.
no.
It's happened
Chill
to
now,
all
man.
of us. I mean,
you gotta find the silver lining,
Truth or
My
truth?
grandfather, who my dad's dad had Alzheimer's when I was a kid, so I only knew happy, pleasant grandpa.
Yeah.
But they would tell stories about how he was like mean and yelled and like told them they were all no good. Like, they'd be like, well, you know how your papa was. And I was like, no, he literally just
Yeah.
kissed me and smiled, and that was what he did for my entire life.
wow.
Yeah, it sounds really dark to say, but I think, there's never a good case scenario for someone, getting Alzheimer's, but, someone that you weren't, like, super a huge fan of when they were normal, I think. It's like, okay, all right, well, this is dipping my toe into it, because it's like, I know somebody, my stepdad's mom has Alzheimer's, and she was really awesome before that, and now she, like, is still awesome, and she, like, drinks now. She drinks. I don't know, they actually told her, like, drinking would help. Yeah. So
Wow.
So
That's
I mean,
unusual.
the thing is like only a couple of beers a day. It's one of those like it's kind of like wine and your heart, like one of those things. So
what
the
I
thing
tell
is,
myself.
God.
she never drank.
so
She was
funny.
a teetotaler before that, and now she
Wow.
will like shotgun a 6-pack like immediately. So what they do is they buy her a 6-pack of regular beer and a 6-pack of like O'Doul's. And they'll piece together, and they'll give her like 2 real beers per 4 O'Doul's or whatever.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, and I mean, placebo effect or not, like it does seem to elicit like a pleasant response out of her.
That is so weird, because when I drink a lot of beer, I usually forget what happened.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe it's
I
like,
can't
maybe
remember
it's like
shit.
people
I
who
black
are,
out.
Maybe it's like people who take like Adderall when they already have ADD, like it evens them
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Whereas like me, I do not have ADD, and when I take Adderall, I'm like, what's happening right now? It's like crazy caffeine.
Yeah.
So it like does the opposite to your brain. So her brain
Well, she's,
would
like,
normally
confused.
react to alcohol in the opposite way.
Right.
Instead of it making her dumb,
Interesting.
it makes her smarter and nicer.
Right.
Interesting. So what would happen if like a guy took Viagra who didn't have erectile dysfunction? Would he just be like a limp, like spaghetti noodle?
I'm gonna tell you right now, 85% of people that take Viagra take it recreationally.
I think it's just a
Recreationally.
recreational thing.
Yeah, I took
think
it.
it's like
I
a
took it
pain
once when I was like
medication.
18.
I thought you were going to say, like, you took it once, like, today, earlier.
Right now. Wow.
yeah.
I took it right before the podcast.
Thanks for noticing, Amy.
Yeah. I figured we got a phone guest. Why can't I have my dick out?
You're literally just trying to not point it at your child.
It's all right. If I can have my tits out, you can have your dick out.
It's
Right.
like to a sideways point. It's like
Sideways point.
watching Bill Cosby just fall apart as a human being right now, physically.
sideways
Like,
point.
he's such a sad... Like, the way he is aging and dying is very slow and arduous, and he just looks like hell. And I was feeling bad about it until